Hi, I'm Angelo Sangalang from Villajuan, reporting for Group 5, and I'm reporting about water pollution. Water is the most important resource of survival on the planet. It is the essence of life on our planet Earth. Yet, if you ever see a river or lake around your city, it would be evident to you that we are facing a very serious problem of water pollution. Let us educate ourselves about water and water pollution. Two-thirds of the Earth's surface is covered by water. 76% of your body is made up of water. As you already know, water is everywhere and all around. However, we have a fixed amount of water on Earth. It just changes its states and goes through our cyclic order, known as the water cycle. The water cycle is a natural process that is continuous in nature. It is the pattern in which the water from oceans, seas, lakes, gets evaporated and turns to vapor, after which it goes through the process of condensation, and finally, precipitation when it falls back to Earth as rain or snow. So, what is water pollution? Water pollution is the contamination of water bodies like oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, and groundwater, usually caused due to human activities. Water pollution is any change, minor or major, in the physical, chemical, or biological properties of water that eventually leads to a detrimental consequence of any living organism. Drinking water, called potable water, is considered safe enough for human and animal consumption. Sources of water pollution is domestic waste, industrial effluents, insecticides and pesticides, detergents and fertilizers. Some of the water pollutions are caused by direct sources such as factories, waste management facilities, and etc. that directly release waste and dangerous byproducts into the nearest water source without treating them. Indirect sources include pollutants and infuse in the water bodies via groundwater or soil or via the atmosphere through acidic rain. These are the effects of water pollution. First is disease, second eradication of ecosystem, and also it effects of the food chain. Uh, these are the things we can do to prevent water pollution. First, conserve water. Second, treatment of sewage. Third, use of environment. We have to conserve water. Conserving water should be our first aim. Water wastage is a major problem globally and we are only now waking up to the issue. Simple, small changes made domestically will make a huge difference. Pollution. We cannot live with sewage strewn beaches, contaminated rivers, and fish that are poisonous to drink and eat. To avoid these scenarios, we can work together to keep the environment clean so the water bodies, plants, animals, and people who depend on it remain healthy. We can take individual or team action to help reduce water pollution. As an example, by using environmentally friendly detergents, not pouring oil down the drains, reducing the usage of pesticide, and so on. We can take community action to keep our rivers and seas cleaner. And we can take action as countries and continents to pass laws against water pollution. Working together, we can make water pollution less of a problem and the world a better place. That's all, thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Reyes from Group 5. So for today's lesson, we're going to tackle about water pollution. So first, let's start with the introduction. Water pollution can be defined in many ways. Usually, it means one or more substances have built up in water to such an extent that they cause problem for animals or people. Oceans, lakes, rivers, and other inland waters can naturally clean up a certain amount of pollution by dispersing it harmlessly. The planet keeps nudging us with increasingly extreme droughts, reminding us that water is life. It is an essential resource upon which all living beings depend and it is crucial to all social and economic development, as well as energy production and adaptation to climate change. Nevertheless, we are now facing a gigantic challenge. So how do we stop contaminating our rivers, sea, lakes, oceans, canals, and reservoirs? So next, what is water pollution? The World Health Organization or WHO says that polluted water is water whose composition has been changed to the extent that it is unusable. In other words, it is toxic water that cannot be drunk or used for essential purposes like agriculture, and which also causes diseases like diarrhea, cholera, dysentery, typhoid, and poliomyelitis that kill more than 500,000 people worldwide every year. The main water pollutants include bacteria, viruses, parasites, fertilizers, pesticides, pharmaceutical products, nitrates, phosphates, plastic, fecal waste, and even radioactive substances. These substances do not always change the color of the water, meaning that they are often invisible pollutants. That's why small amounts of water and aquatic organisms are tested to determine water quality. Next, let's proceed to the main cause of water pollution. It is sometimes caused by nature, such as when mercury filters from the earth's crust, polluting oceans, rivers, lakes, canals, and reservoirs. However, the most common cause of poor quality water is human activity and its consequences, which we will now go on to explain. First is global warming. That is rising global temperatures caused by carbon dioxide emissions that heat the water, reducing its oxygen content. Second is deforestation. Felling forests can exhaust water resources and generate organic residue, which becomes a breeding ground for harmful bacteria. Third is industry, agriculture, and livestock farming. That is chemical dumping from these sectors is one of the main causes of eutrophication of water. Fourth is rubbish and fecal water dumping. The US says that more than 80% of the world's sewage finds its ways into seas and rivers untreated. Fifth is maritime traffic. Much of the plastic pollution in the ocean comes from fishing boats, tankers, and cargo shipping. And lastly, this fuel spillage. Transportation and storage of oil and its derivatives is subject to leakage that pollutes our water resources.
I am Janelle Tolentino from Group 5. Today, we will going to tackle the effects of water pollution on the environment and the health impacts of water pollution. So, first, the effects of water pollution on the environment are destruction of biodiversity. Water pollution depletes aquatic ecosystems and triggers unbridled proliferation of phytoplankton in lakes, eutrophication, contamination of the food chain, fishing in polluted waters, and the use of wastewater for livestock farming and agriculture can introduce toxins into foods which are harmful to our health when eaten. Lack of portable water. The UN says that billions of people around the world have no access to clean water to drink or sanitation, particularly in rural areas. Disease. The WHO estimates that about 2 billion people have no option but to drink water contaminated by excrement, exposing them to diseases such as cholera, hepatitis A, and dysentery. Infant mortality. According to UN, diarrheal disease linked to lack of hygiene caused the death of about 1,000 children a day worldwide. So, we will going to the health impacts of water pollution. So, it is a well-known fact that clean water is absolutely essential for healthy living. Adequate supply of fresh water and clean drinking water is a basic need for all human beings on the earth. Yet, it has been observed that millions of people worldwide are deprived of these freshwater resources. All over the world are threatened not only by over-exploitation and poor management, but also by ecological degradation. The main source of freshwater pollution can be attributed to discharge of untreated waste, dumping of industrial effluent, and runoff from agricultural fields. Industrial growth, urbanization, and increasing of synthetic organic substances have serious and adverse impacts on freshwater's body. It is a generally accepted fact that development countries suffer from problems of chemical discharge into the water sources, mainly groundwater, while developing countries face problems of agricultural runoff in the water sources. Polluted water like chemicals in drinking water causes problem to health and leads to waterborne disease, which can be prevented by taking measures can be taken even the household level. Groundwater can be contaminated through various sources, and some of these are mentioned below. So first is pesticides. Runoff from farms, backyards, and golf courses contains pesticides such as DDT that in turn contaminated the water. Leach from landfill sites is another major contaminating source. Its effects on the ecosystem and health are endocrine and reproductive damage in wildlife. Groundwater is susceptible to contamination. As pesticides are mobile in the soil, it is a matter of concern as these chemicals are persistent in the solid and water. Sewage. Untreated or inadequately treated municipal sewage is a major source of groundwater and surface water pollution in the developing countries. The organic material that is discharged with municipal waste, the water causes use substantial oxygen for biological degradation, thereby upsetting the ecological balance of rivers and lakes. Sewage also carries microbial pathogens that are the cause of the spread of disease.
Hello everyone, I am Crisha Umalin from Group 5. So my topic that I will discuss is all about water pollution prevention. Number 1. Wastewater treatment. Wastewater treatment consists of removing pollutants from wastewater through a physical, chemical, or biological process. The more efficient these processes are, the cleaner the water becomes. Second one, green agriculture. Globally, agriculture accounts for 70% of water resources. So it is essential to have climate-friendly crops, efficient irrigation that reduce the need for water and energy-efficient food production. Green agriculture is also crucial to limit the chemicals that enter the water. Number 3. Stormwater management. Stormwater management is the effort to reduce runoff of rainwater of melted snow into streams, dams, and other sites, and the improvement of water quality. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency or EPA, it is important to avoid pollutants from contaminating the water and helps to use water more efficiently. Number 4. Air pollution prevention. Air pollution prevention has a direct impact on water contamination as 24% of human-induced CO2 emissions are absorbed by oceans. This pollution causes a rapid acidification of our oceans and threatens marine life and corals. Preventing air pollution is the best way to prevent this from happening. Number 5. Plastic weight reduction. 80% of plastic in our ocean is from land sources. In order to reduce the amount of plastic entering our ocean, we need to both reduce our use of plastic globally and to improve plastic waste management. And the last one, water conservation. Without water conservation, we won't go very far. It is central in making sure the world has better access to clean water. It means being aware that water is a resource, taking care of it accordingly, and managing it responsibly. Trivia about water pollution. Do you know Many parts of the world face major challenges due to limited freshwater availability. A significant amount of the limited freshwater resources in the world are contaminated by pollutants from industry, farming, energy regeneration, and other activities. And here are 5 interesting facts about water pollution. Fact number 1. The total volume of water available on Earth is about 1.4 billion kilometers. And about 70% of the Earth is covered in water. Fact number 2. Fresh water in the world is only 2.5% of the total water available on this planet. Make sure the water you drink is clean by using a water filter on your refrigerator. Fact number 3. 14 billion pounds of garbage, mostly plastic, is dumped into the ocean every year. Fact number 4. According to the World Health Organization, 3.2 million children under the age of 5 is developing nations die each year as a result of unsafe drinking water and poor sanitation. And the last one, fact number 5. According to UNICEF, more than 3,000 children die every day globally due to the consumption of contaminated drinking water. And I am Crisha Umalin from Group 5, and that's all. Thank you.